if we have to give a basic judgment about this, then this is classifying raw data to infer judgment. You'll be given a lot of information and you have to arrange it into a meaningful form so that anyone can get a reasonable judgment from that given data. So these are the types of questions that we'll be covering through these PPTs, known by different names. It could be seating arrangement, sequencing, tabulation, comparisons, selections, family chart, rankings, a series based, and few miscellaneous problems. There is very little theory in this, and there are more of practical or example based questions. So one requirement from you would be to do a lot of questions. You cannot learn this topic without doing a lot of questions. So let's see our first type of question, which is seating arrangement. This is the most important part. Most commonly asked question, as in there will be a group of people sitting around or sitting in a particular manner. So you would be asked to give a valid inference for that. So this is the process of placing a group of people, this is important word, or it could be objects in a prefixed manner, and things or people can be arranged in a linear manner or a circular manner or around a polygon. It could be a square or a rectangular. Rarely any other form is asked. So make sure you do questions on all the three parameters. Now, few things that you need to take care of. In linear arrangement, there are two types. One, there will be a single row. Okay, so if people are facing north, this is our first case. If people are facing north, then this is a direction: north, south, west, and east. So if people are facing north, their left would be towards your left and right would be towards your right. It means any person who's facing north is facing the same direction where you are facing. A person facing south would be your mirror image. So your left and his left would be different. Your left would be this one, his left would be this one. So make sure you read this thing in a question, that where do people who are sitting in the question are facing. Why this is important? Because this will determine where their left and rights are. Second type of question could be they are sitting in two parallel rows. So they will be sitting, few people would be sitting here, few people would be sitting in this row, they'll be facing each other. This row will be facing towards north, this row will be facing towards south. People who are facing towards north, their left is your left, their right is your right. People who are facing south, their left is opposite to your left. So this is their left, opposite to your left. Their right would be opposite to your right. So this is how you make a skeleton. Okay, so let's do a question in this. Let's understand the few wordings that are being used in question. For example, let me say P is sitting there are various cases, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. P is sitting second to the left of Q. So if Q is placed over here, so where will P be sitting? Will it be here or P would be here? Now, in case you are confused, then this place is the first place. This place is the second place. You cannot say someone is sitting at the 0th place to the left of Q. So this is a wrong thing. This is a correct meaning of this one. This is first place to the left of Q. This is right. So P is first and second. Now what if the wording says P is sitting 2 places to the left of Q? This is Q. Now it doesn't again it doesn't mean this way. Why? If this is Q, this is the first place to his left, this is the second place to his left, and this is where P is sitting. All right. So this will be the first case. This is the second case. Now P is sitting left of Q. If Q is sitting over here, then P is sitting left. In case you mark this, this is a wrong statement. Now make sure this is a very, very important wordings. Make sure you go through them. And this is a very common mistake that people do, that P is sitting to the left of Q. This is left. Yes, you are partially correct. But P could sit anywhere towards the left of Q. It could be one place, it could be immediately next, or it could be few places to the left or right. Then next case is immediately to the left of Q. Now this is where you will mark this is Q, so this will be P. This will be P. They will be always adjacent to each other. So it will be marked as this way. This is the correct way of representing fourth. This was the third one. Now fifth case, P is sitting besides Q. Now besides means immediately next to. This could also be marked as immediately next. P is sitting immediately next to Q. This could be either PQ or it could be QP. P would be besides Q, but it could be in either towards the left or immediate right. So this is what are the possibilities for the fifth case. All right. So I hope you are understanding this thing, how you go through this, how you interpret different wordings in a linear arrangement or analytical reasoning questions. Let's see the first example. We are given there are 8 people who are sitting in a row facing north direction. So these are the people, they are facing towards north direction. And you are given few clues. A is 4 to the right of E, H is 4th to the left of D, C and F, which are not at the ends, are neighbors of B and D respectively, and this. So your question is, who are sitting at the extreme ends? All right. So I will request you to please pause this video and try to solve this question, and then again play the video and see what is the right solution for this. So how we proceed? We first make a skeleton. Skeleton would be, we have 8 places. This is our first place. This is our 8th place. All of these people are facing north. And this will be left. This will be right. Your left and right, and these people left and right would be same. So now let us interpret what these clues were all about. It first is saying A is 4th to the right of E. So if this is E, then this is the first place to the right of E, second place, third place, and fourth place where A is sitting. So this information is given in clue number 1. Second clue is H is 4th to the left of D. If this is D, then 1 place, 2 place, 3 place, 4th place. So H is 4th to the left of D. Then third information says C and F are not at the ends. So you can always say this place, these are the 2 ends, and C or F cannot come at these places. And it's also given C and F are neighbors of B and E respectively. So if C and B are neighbors, so it can either be CB or BC, and because EF are neighbors, so it could be EF or FE. So just list down all these wordings into few meaningful sentences. Then H is next to left of A. So this is given confirm. it cannot be AH, it has to be HA, because H is to the immediately left of A, and also A is neighbor of B. So this is again semi-final information. We do not know what final could be. It could be either AB or BA. Now we are given a lot of information. Now from where to proceed? Now if you look closely, then this is a complete information which we can start. You have A over here, and over here. So you know towards left of A, so if we combine these statements, number 2, number 3, number 4, we know that H is towards left of A, and because B is neighbor of A, it has to come over here. Now BC are also neighbors. Now A is fixed over here, so the only place left is C. So C will come over here. And what else were you knowing from the second statement? That D is sitting fourth to the right of H. So this is first place, second place, third place. D will come over here at the fourth place. So you have arrangement of 5 people sitting over here. There are 8 people and you have arranged 5 people till now. Now 1 is also giving you statement that towards left of A, E is sitting. So what you can do, E is fourth to the left of A. So this is first place, second place, third place, fourth. And how many people can you count over here? 5, 6, 7, 8. So this will be some way how the final people or the final arrangement will look like. So we have E over here, H, A, B, C, D. So now 2 people are remaining. Those are F and G. So we will use, now this is unused information till now. What we know is that E would be at the end, F cannot be at an end, given over here. F is not at any end. So this place will be filled by F. So the only place that is left would be for G, which will come over here, and you will get your final answer as E, F, G, H, A, B, C, D. So who are sitting at the extreme ends? We can tell E and D. I hope you understand this question. Let's have another question for this. Let's look at this example. In this example, we are given 8 people, 8 members who are sitting in 2 rows, right? So the example that we just did was with 1 row. Here there are 2 rows with equal members facing each other. So we can always say there will be 4 members who will be facing south, and there will be 4 members facing north. This will be our skeleton. We always make a skeleton first by reading this information, and then we try to plug in the information into this. So each member in a row is sitting exactly opposite a member in the other row. So this is what we are given. And then there is some information given over here. You have to tell us who is sitting opposite to P. Alright, so remember the theory that whoever are facing towards north, this is their left, this is their right. Whoever is facing towards south, this is their left, and this is their right. Alright, so again, pause this video over here and go through this question. Try to make arrangement out of this and then look at the solution. So now, before proceeding towards the solution, I have highlighted this thing. If you read the first line, P sits in the row facing north to the immediate right of H, who is exactly opposite of R. So who does this? Who, this word who denotes whether P is sitting opposite towards R or H is sitting opposite towards R. So this is a rule of grammar that you need to take note of. Whenever there is a comma, then this pronoun, right? I guess every one of you would know this is a pronoun, will refer to the noun which is nearest to it. So in this case, who will be H. In case no comma is given, then this pronoun will refer to the noun which is very far, which is farther from it. So in that case, it would be P. So do remember this comma. But what is very, very commonly seen is misprinting out of this comma. So in case this comma is not given, make sure you make two cases for that. Alright, so let's proceed towards this question. P sits in the row facing north to the immediate right of H, who is exactly opposite of R. So you make your skeleton. There are 4 people facing south, 4 people facing north, and what else you get over here? You have R, H and P. So P sits in the row facing north. So here in the lower row, P is sitting to the immediate right of H. So this is H, this is his right, who is exactly opposite of R. So these are opposite and this would be opposite to each other, right? So this is how these 4 people would be sitting. Next statement, L is to the immediate right of R, okay, and S is exactly opposite of T, who is to the immediate right of P. So a lot of information. Let's see how you will write over here. Here, L is to the immediate right of R. So because you knew that R would be facing towards south, so L is to the immediate right of R. And again, if you refer over here, people who are facing south, this is their R. This is their right direction. So towards immediate right is here L. So L would be facing towards person who's sitting towards left of H. So I've marked over here. Then, and S is exactly opposite of T, who is to the immediate right of P. You also knew about P, placement of P. Immediate right of P would be this, T, and S is directly opposite to it. So this will be this. So here we have made 4 figures over here, 4 figures over here, and there are 2 empty spaces left. What is the next statement saying? V does not sit at any of the ends of any row. So we have one placement, this, which is an end. V cannot sit over here. So V will be possibly sitting over here. So which is left? So you have L, R, V, S, and this empty space will be filled by Q, which is left. Here it will be V, here it will be Q. So this is how the final placement looked like, and the answer, who sits opposite of P, answer is V. Right? So relatively simple problems, looks tough, a lot of information, but this information, if arranged, will look like this one, which is very, very easy to understand. Now, so a few instructions that we will go through before attempting other questions. So take a quick glance that whatever is the information given, and understand the situation of the objects and make a skeleton. A skeleton is a rough sketch is as to how the information would be placed, and then from the given clues you will just plug in the information. Then any definite information that you for sure know that where he will be sitting would be plugged directly into the skeleton. Any comparative information would be written below the skeleton, not in the skeleton but outside the skeleton. A common example could be how you can make a timetable of your school or your college. You write days over here. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or maybe Saturday. Here you will write your time or periods, period 1, lecture 1, period 2, period 3, period 4. And here you will plug in the subjects. So this is how a skeleton will look like when you are given that you have to make a timetable. Okay, so whatever is the definite information, that period 2 on Monday would be of English, so it would be written over here. And any comparative information that no 2 English lectures can come together would be written over a side, that 2 English lectures cannot come together. All right. Any negative information would be written besides the heading for which it is given. For example, period 3 can never be of maths. So we will write over here that period 3 cannot be of maths. So we'll write the negations also. So we'll keep on writing. This is called semi-final information. that this information would help you to get to the final result, but this information cannot be directly plugged into the skeleton. So you will keep on writing this information over at the side, any comparative information or a negative information, and only the final information will go into this skeleton of yours. And when this is full, you are free to give your answers. So I hope you understand. We have solved few questions. Let's proceed towards the next question. Now these are the tough questions, which are circular arrangement. Now circular arrangement has people sitting on the circumference of the circle. There are two possible cases. There are people facing towards the center. So a person sitting over here will be facing towards here, towards the center. This is a center. His left and right would again be what your left and right is. Left would be here, right would be here. Same way, a person who's sitting over here is a mirror image of P. So his left would be over here, right would be over here. Any person who's sitting over here, let's say a person A is sitting over here, then this would be his left, this would be his right. All right. In case all of them are facing towards the center. Second case, if they're facing away from the center, let's say the person is over here, then this P is facing towards you. P is your mirror image. Your left and right would be different from his left and right. P left is over here, right is over here. A person who's sitting over here. Now this person is facing just like you. His left is over here, right is over here. A person who's sitting over here, his left is over this side and right is towards this side. So this information is something that you need to understand. Imagine the person where his direction is, and in your head you just rotate yourself towards that orientation and mark which is left and which is right. That's the easiest way that you can do any question. Let's look at a question, a circular arrangement question. It says there are 8 friends who are sitting in a circle facing the center. So this is a skeleton, how a skeleton will look like. There are 8 friends. So you can always join these lines that you know these are the friends who are facing each other or sitting diametrical opposite to each other. And now your information starts from here. This is the first line. This is the second line. This is the third line. And this is a question, who is third to the left of D. Now this first, let's write this information. This is comparative information. We'll not plug in over here, but we'll write separately. B is sitting between G and D. So it could be either B is between GD, so it could be either GBD or DBG. You are not given orientation that what left and right of B are G and D. So it will be somewhere like this. Then H is third to the left of B. If this is B, then this is first to the left of B, second to the left of B, and this is third to the left of B where H is sitting. And second to the right of A, this same H is second to the right of A. So this is A, first to the right of A, second to the right of A. Now I have put over here a linear arrangement. Why? Because in case you just, whatever be their orientation, in case you join these ends, it would be a circle and the arrangement would be looking like a circular arrangement. Right. So we are not able to plug in this information, but because this circle is a symmetrical arrangement, we can give any place to H, and with respect to H, we can place B and A. Alright, so let's try to put H over here. This is the most common starting point for any circular arrangement question. Whichever is your final information, you can write H any place, and third to the right would be B. So A, B, here it will come over B and A. Second to the left would be A, third to the right would be B. So this information has been plugged into this circle, into this circular table. Let's see the next. C is sitting between A and G. So C is sitting between AG. So again it would be ACG or GCA. And what other information is given? B and E are not sitting opposite to each other. It means B and E are not sitting at any diameter. So this will be a Like if you place this, so this thing is not possible. So I've written over here, B and E are not diametrical opposite, so they are not sitting opposite to each other. So now, you know ACG. So if A is over here and I put C over here, then I don't have any place to put H, put G, because H is sitting. So I cannot have C over here and G. This will be a wrong statement. So the only place that is there left for me would be C over here and G over here. So we have this. So we have three places empty. Now what other information I know? That B is between D and G. I know where G would be sitting. I know where B would be sitting. So I can easily put in D. So D will be seated over here, just next to B. So this will be GBD. The first condition is fulfilled. Now, two places left and two people left are E and F. Now E cannot come directly opposite to B. So E would come over here. So the only place left over here, and we have one place left and one person to be seated, that is F. So this will be the final seating arrangement across this circular table. So you can always rotate this table. Now because it is symmetrical, we can start from anywhere and we can proceed towards anywhere. So now to answer the question, who is third to the left of D? This is D. This is D's left. This is first. This is second. This is third. So the answer would be F. F is sitting third to the left of D. Alright, I hope you understand this question. Now, next arrangement is around a polygon. It could be either a square table or a rectangular table. Square is symmetrical in all sides. In square, all sides are symmetrical. In rectangular, opposite sides are symmetrical. So there would be in rectangle different number of people sitting across different edges. There could be three people, like in this diagram, there are three people sitting around the longer side and one person who's sitting around the shorter edge. And these are called the sides. This is a side, this is side, this is a side. A person sitting on a corner will look over here. This is a corner. These are the things that you need to see. And our concept of circular will remain over here also. A person can face towards the center or away from the center, and accordingly his left or right will vary. Alright, so do remember to understand people sitting, where all people are sitting, and accordingly make a skeleton. People are sitting on sides or corners, on which all sides of square people are sitting and how many people are sitting, and across rectangle, the longer side, or how many people are sitting around at a shorter side. So let's look at this question. So let's look at this question. Now there are 8 people. They are sitting around a square table. 4 of them are sitting at corners and 4 at the middle of each of the 4 sides. So it would be placed like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people are sitting over here and 4 people would be sitting at the 4 corners. So this will be your skeleton. Then there are few clues given and you are asked to just make the arrangement for this. So the best part for this could be, please pause the video and spend some time into making this square arrangement on your own. So again, let's try this. This is our skeleton. This is how we will be arranging our information. So let's simplify these clues that are given to you. A sits second to the right of F. So it would be like, and second A sits second to the right of F. So if this is F, so this is first place to the right of F, this is second place to the right of F. And second information is saying F sits in the middle of one of the sides of the table. So if F would be sitting at any of the middle side, maybe over here, then F would be sitting over here. So there is a gap of one person which would be the corner. So because F is sitting at a side, A would also be sitting at any of the sides. Second information says G who does not sit at any of the corners. It means we have the third person G who is sitting at one of the sides. Sits second to the right of D. So this is D, first place to the right of D, second place to the right of G, of D. So again, we can always conclude that because G is sitting at a side, then logic that we used in this first statement is used to know that A, F, D, G, these are the four people who are sitting at sides. And correspondingly, we can conclude that the remaining four people B, C, E, H are sitting on four corners. So just by reading this one statement and statement 2, we are able to arrive upon four people who are sitting on sides and four people who are sitting on corners. Now, only two people sit between D and B, taken from one side. Okay, so because it could be clockwise or anti-clockwise. So from any one of the side, there are two people sitting between D and B. So if D is placed anywhere, let's say if D is placed over here, then 1, 2, this would be the place for B, or this would be the place for B. So B would be sitting at one of the corners. So it could be either way like this. It could be DB or BD between, and there will be two people in between them. Then we have C is not an immediate neighbor of G. So C does not sit besides G. So C and G are not neighbors. This cross signifies that they won't be sitting together. Next information is H is sitting second to the left of B. This is sitting second to the left of B. So wherever B will be sitting, two places to the left of B, this will be the H. One place to the left of B, second place to the left of B. And next is E is not an immediate neighbor of G. So E and G are not neighbors. E is not an immediate neighbor of F. E and F are not neighbors. So this is information that is given to you. Now what you are asked to arrange it. Now you can start with anything. You can start with 1 or you can start with second, because this is something which can be very easily put into this skeleton. So let me put this F over here, then second towards right of F is A. So A would be here. If we have A over here, then I can have D over here, because I cannot place D over here because as second to the right of D is G. If I place D over here, then G has to be over here, which is not possible as F is already sitting at this place. So we will place D over here and correspondingly G over here. So we have four people who are sitting at four sides. Now we have to place corners. Now it's given that between D and B there are two people sitting. So if D is over here, these two people that are sitting between D and B could be these two or these two. So B can come over here or here. So now what to do in such cases when there are two possible solutions or two possible options to plug in a clue? We will make two cases in this. We'll make two cases. So we can have B over here or B over here. So the best part could be make this diagram, make a parallel diagram of this. So it could be like this, F, A, D. So what we can do is in one diagram we can have B over here, and in another diagram we can have B over here. So we have solved question till here. We have used information that is given till point number 3, and it has given us two possible cases. There could be two possible arrangements. We'll keep on filling other information, and if we have certain information that contradicts to the given information, that case we will cross out and the other we will keep. Right? So this is one case, D and B. This is another case, D and B. Now we know C cannot sit with G, and H is second to the left of B. So if B is sitting over here, H will be sitting over here in this case. In this case, H would be sitting over here. So this comes over here. So now you have two places empty for C and E. So let me say, now if you look closely over here, in this case, I can place E over here. Now C cannot sit with G, E cannot sit with G. So over here, I cannot plug in C, I cannot plug in E. Alright. So because whatever I put over here, either condition number 4 or condition number 6 will be violated. So most probably this is a case that we have to neglect, and this is a case that we have to select. So if we put over C over here or C over here, so this is the case that we will reject, and this will be the proper arrangement that satisfies all the given conditions. So friends, do remember that each of the condition could be satisfied. The best learning that is to be taken out of from this question is that how to make cases. This is very important part. Wherever you are confused, make possible cases, make alternate cases, and accordingly solve it. So I hope you understand this question. Let's try another question. This time with a rectangular sitting arrangement. This is a skeleton given to you. There are 8 people again sitting around a Okay, so this is again a square table, not a rectangular one, my bad. So there are 2 people sitting across on each side. There are 3 lady members. They are not next to each other, and another information is given to you. So we'll do the same task once again. You pause this video over here, solve this question, and then look at the solution by playing this video, resuming this video. So this third statement says J is between L and F. So J is over here. It could be L, it could be L, J, F, or F, J, L. It could be either of the 2 cases. Next case is G is between I and F. So again, whatever logic we used in third, applying this, we have I, G, F or F, G, I. Could be of the either of the case. Now fifth is saying H, a lady member. Now here, a thing to be noted. Whenever a gender is specified, we have 2 notations that are most commonly used. H with a superscript of a negative sign. This denotes a lady. If it is a plus sign, it denotes a male. Another thing that you could use is H with a circle outside it is a lady. H with the square outside it is a male. These are most commonly used signs, but you are free to use your own signs. What you need to do is to save time, whatever suits you, please use that. So this H, a lady member, is second to the left of J. So wherever J is sitting, second to his left is H, a lady member. This is an empty space which will be filled by any of the other member. 6 says F, a male member. So we know gender of F also is seated opposite E, a lady member. So these are not 3 places, but this is a straight line that F and E are opposite to each other. F and E are opposite to each other. So we know of 2 females over here, and we also know that there are 3 lady members. So we have found 2, H and E. Then there is a lady member between F and I. This 7th statement is F and I. But if we use this information that is given in information 4, that between F and I, whichever be the order, G is sitting. So it means we have another information that G is a lady member. Alright. So we have 3 lady members, G, H and E. Remaining are all male members. So now let's try to use this information. I cannot use all this information. Let's try with this. These are all comparative information which cannot be plugged into these skeletons. So this is the best information that I can use to start my questions. Now J H is sitting second to the left of J, but there are two possible places in a square. J could be at these two places, at this edge or at this edge. So I have to, from the start itself, I have to make two possible cases through which this question could be solved. So I have H over here. Using this fifth information, H is second two places to the left of J. So these are two possible options. So where else do I find J? The J is sitting between L and F. So wherever J is sitting, his neighbors would be F and L. So if I put F over here, so I know that F, J, and I can put L over here. But there's also given that E is sitting opposite to F. So over here somewhere could be E. And again using this statement that F, G, I. G has neighbors of F and I. But here I cannot have this condition. My condition 4 would be violated, that F has to have either G as a neighbor, but here that place is not there. So this is an incorrect option. I cannot place F over here, though it was satisfying two conditions, but it violated a third condition that was given in statement number 4. So if J was over here, two options were either F could be towards the left of J or towards right of J. So now let's me try over here. If F is sitting over here, then a condition that E has to be opposite of F would be violated because H is already sitting over here. So this is again a false case. So now again, so this would be a incorrect case. So we need to work on this case. This will be the correct position of J and H. So over here, I can place F over here. But whatever be the condition that was there in this case, that why we rejected this case would be applicable to this also, that it cannot have G as its neighbor. So F cannot come over here. So F would be placed over here. So this was the most trickiest part of this question, the placement of F. Once F is placed, everything becomes very easy. If F would be here, then G, I would be the next in line. And L, F, J, F, it would be L, J, F. So L here, J here, F here, and F, G, I over here. So I would come over here. Now there are two places left. One place will go to E. We know from this statement number 6 that F would be sitting opposite to E. So E will come over here, and the remaining person K will come over here. So this was a little tricky question, but in case you read this statement, so the takeaway from this question would be that use the character that is mentioned most common in all the options. F is mentioned over here, F is mentioned over here, F is mentioned over here. So there are 3 lines. So the placement of F was the most important one and the key to this question. So we had 4 possible cases and 3 were rejected, and this was the correct case, the 4th one. I hope you have solved this question previously and were able to get a correct answer out of this question. Let's look at a rectangular arrangement now. Seems to be a tough one. In this, there are 10 people. 10 people around a rectangular table. So if I draw a rectangular table over here, there are 3 people on longer edges. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 people on shorter edges. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is a rough diagram, rough skeleton that I'll be making out of it. Then we are given certain seating pattern. it is given R is to the immediate left of D. This is given to you. R is immediately left of D. This is also given to you. C is to the right of B, or B is to the left of C. Then AN, then SQ. These are relatively simple. And then it is given PSN are on the same side of the table. And none of them is opposite to C or R. Now, how do you start this question? So let's start plugging in the information. But where to start? Well, we have N common and S common. And we know that P, S, N would be on the same side in some order, according to this fifth information. So it means A has to be on one of the edges, and it has to be towards the left of N. N cannot come over here. If I mark 3 places over here, 3 places over here, and 2 places over here. So N cannot come over here because then A has to come over here, A here. So the best place that N could come would be over here. Then correspondingly A would be mentioned over here. We also know from the fifth point that PSN are not opposite to C or R. It means C and R are on the sides. So the second information that we can use, S has to be over here, and towards the left of S has to be Q. So S cannot come over here. The best place that S could come would be over here, and correspondingly Q will come over here. So now I also know about R. R has to be on the sides. If I write R over here, then towards R's right has to be D. But as A is also already sitting over here, this is not a valid case. It means D has to come over here and R has to come over here. So we have started plugging in few information. So we have used C, R, Q, and there is one place empty on a side, and that has to go to C. So if C comes over here, and we can use this information which is given in option number 2, that C and B will come over here. It's a very simple question. In case you do it systematically, step by step. So we have 2 empty places, and we know that on this side we were supposed to put in PSN. So the only place that is left is of P, and now there is one place left, and there is one person, so that person would be M. So the answer to this question, who is sitting opposite M, would be P. There is only one possible case. There is no other possible case. So the most important point in any AR question would be the start. From where should you start your question? A lot of information would be given. The most confusing part is which information we should use first, which is giving us the least amount of cases. We need to make least cases as possible. So this is how final arrangement will look like. You can match your answers